This week also, not only do we have a plethora of clowns interfering in the group and playing games, but Facebook decided to chime in and heavily censor the group this week with the brain dead fact checkers. And it pulled up a post of little to no relevance whatsoever. Who's paying these people is beyond me. And it was about a bridge in Holland that goes over a highway for the benefit of animals. And they pulled it because the picture, they said, was of a bridge in Singapore. So they declared the whole article fake. But when you look in their description, like the one I pulled up a few weeks ago, contradictory again. Their description and reasoning, however, reveals that there are some bridges exactly the same as that in Holland, after all. Just whoever did the article posted a picture of a bridge in Singapore. And this is what these clowns are pulling up. People are being paid to do this shit. How about they go and do some real research highlighting the real fakery? Like the owner of Facebook, for a start. Or pick any news media site. Christ, you get overtime galore investigating their fakery. Or pick any government and do some real work. Does it really matter whether the animal bridge is in Singapore or Holland, for sore's sakes? It's beyond madness. Capital One. I need to... these two pieces kind of tie in together, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah. But a few things came up with regards to the latest breach of personal security, this time Capital One, following several other high-profile breaches. With all these breaches, the question remains is how safe would be the cryptocurrencies many are now pushing. Like zero. And expect another breach or major story of some incident involving cryptos soon, with the headlines X millions not accessible or stolen. You watch. But the mention in this article is about the woman who was linked to it, worked for Amazon. And the fact that the article tried to play it down is often indicative of their actual involvement. It's the way the media works. And Amazon are part of the latest globalist takeover of everything, and why I've warned in the sub-intel of giant mergers taking place, and that they're harvesting everything up again as a backup plan to other plans failing. But one has to ask the question and ponder on is, are all these major data breaches coming from one platform, collecting all the data for the new platform? Think about that. These are not ordinary hackers. This is high-level hackers, which means CIA, NSA, Mossad, and Silicon Valley goons. And perhaps this next piece will answer that question. People may remember the piece I did in the Clowns in Panic show about Amazon becoming the world hub, it was stated, along with Robert David Steele's open source technology. Perhaps need to listen to this. Aides to Donald Trump this week presented him with a document identical to one created by a top Washington lobbyist for cloud computing giant Oracle, Kenneth Gluck, implying that the competitor Amazon is only a favoured contender for a major contract with the US military due to a far-ranging conspiracy orchestrated by Jeff Bezos. And in the one-page document is a result of squabbling over the Joint Enterprise Defence Infrastructure project called JEDI, and a $10 billion Wonder if Anna von Reitz wanted the 10 billion for them. A $10 billion 10-year Pentagon cloud computing initiative which has yet to be finalised. And in it, it suggests that Amazon is one of only 2 finalists in the bidding process alongside Microsoft. That's not happening with them, due to corruption and a network of cronies within the Defence Department. And it said it's unclear how it made its way into the White House, though Oracle reportedly has made efforts to maintain close connections with Trump officials. Now, the document contains a flowchart titled, quote, "A conspiracy to create a 10-year DoD, Department of Defense, cloud monopoly," unquote, and provides a visual representation of a narrative that Oracle has been pushing for months. Oracle is Microsoft, those who don't know, and ran all the banking, not no more. That a web of individuals inside and outside the Defence Department were greasing the wheels for Amazon to win a cloud computing contract known as JEDI. Now, Oracle's own bid did not make it to the final stage. Why did Oracle not make it? Because it was closed down. That's why, as it was being used to infiltrate banks and all government and agency departments is why. That was part of the cleanup of the system. Predictably, Amazon declined to comment on the story, but the said chart shows a web of professionals and personal connections between current and former staff of both the Pentagon and also Amazon, with the version seen by Trump featuring former Secretaries of Defense Ash Carter, featured alongside President Obama, because it's one of his people, and Jim Mattis. Now, it does not make any direct allegations of wrongdoing. Instead, it's relying on unsubtle innuendo and implications to make its point. And Gluck hangs the document in the window of Oracle's DC office, according to the reports, but denies any involvement in getting it to Trump. The question is, who did? Now, Oracle has aggressively contested what it sees as unfair pro-Amazon bias in the JEDI contract and processing court, as well as claimed that Amazon cleared the way for its front-runner status in part by offering the Defense Department official a job while he was involved in evaluating the JEDI vendors. All too common now, isn't it? It's a bit like that court case we were talking about, was it last week or the week before, involving Epstein. The judge was offered a job when Alistair was on the case. Same thing, just repeats. And additionally, Oracle has sought to cast a meeting between the then Secretary of Defense Mattis and Bezos in 2017, and former work for Amazon Web Services by one of his advisors, Sally Donnell, in suspicious light. All this is their desperation to replace old systems with new systems which are not new, with the same people in control. And the panic now is palpable. Make no mistake about it. It's palpable. And Trump needs to shut Amazon down, break it up, and sell it off to the public, because they have reached that position because of clowns inside the Department of Defense, clowns inside of other state departments, all giving them, like Halliburton and Bechtel and all the other goons in the military, no-bid contracts. All gets divvied up by the agencies and people. That has to stop.